Well, this week on the homestead, in the past few days, we've had about an inch of rain. The temperatures continue to get warmer. Here's our plum tree. One of them has bloomed out here and is so pretty. As you can tell, the grass is starting to green up. Stuff's starting to look pretty around here. I am so glad to see spring. Praise the Lord. I'm so grateful and blessed and so glad that the Lord is finally, I know it comes every year, but it seemed like we've had a long winter this year, and I'm so glad to see spring arrive. And want to welcome you today to this week on the homestead. Hope you enjoy this week's video. God bless. Well, I'm still feeding grain this week to the cows. I'll be glad when I can stop feeding. But for right now, I got to continue to feed them a little grain. The grass is starting to come on, but if you raise cattle this time of the year, you know that they get diarrhea real bad. The runs, the squirts, whatever you want to call it. And they chase this green grass. So what I like to do is keep them locked up in a smaller pasture where they can't do all that, where they can't run all over everywhere over our entire place and chase that little bit of grass. They burn off more, is my belief, than what they get. So right now where they're at, they get some nibbling, plus they get hay, and they get grained every day. I've cut back slightly on my grain, but they still get grain. And it'll come a time when I can cut the grain out totally, because once the grass really starts coming on, I've got some wheat planted, and my cows have had some calves. I put them on it every other day, and the day that they're on grain or on wheat, I don't when they're out there on wheat, I don't give them any grain, and I don't even give them hay that day. But then the next day I keep them over in a separate pasture and I give them grain and hay. And the reason for that is I don't have enough wheat pasture. I wish I'd gotten more planted this year, because we've had abundant rain this winter. We haven't been getting much rain in the winter time, and this year we've had an abundant amount of rain. And what I did grow done really well. And in case you're wondering about me spilling a little bit of grain here, this corn, it's not going to hurt anything, because my chickens eat around here, and this gives them a little snack. And I was keeping my chickens locked up during the winter, but I started letting them loose when it got warmer here, and I'll wait until I'll feed the cows in here. Then I turn them out about 9 o'clock or so. I turn the cows back out and let them go to this 10-acre field behind here, and they'll have hay out there to eat after they've ate their grain for the morning. And when I come to let them out, then I open up the chicken pen and I let the chickens run loose around, and they can scratch out here in the cow lot. They can go wherever they want to. The varmints have kind of slowed down some. I haven't seen bald eagles around here in the last couple of weeks, so that stuff has slowed down. You're going to lose some chickens if you've got chickens if you let them free range. And even if you have them in a pen, sometimes you lose one. But what I like to do is let mine free range. I think the eggs are better tasting. The yolks are more darker yellow. And in fact, when I get through with the chores here this morning, I'll go in and have me some eggs. I usually eat me 3 eggs every day. Ovaries, I like that yellow yolk. But when I have to keep them locked up during the winter, the eggs get kind of pale. We give away eggs, extra eggs that we have, and we used to bring them to our church and give them. We have people wanting to buy them. I don't ever charge for them. I just give them away, but I guess I could charge, and that would be fine if you do that. That's no problem, but I just give them away and like to help people. Sometimes there's someone going through a rough time and needing a little extra groceries. Well, we'll give them a little eggs. And but I had a guy last year tell me, he said, your eggs are real pale. Well, they get pale looking when you keep the chickens confined, and when I have them confined, I let them eat all of the laying pellets they want. I have an automatic laying pellet feeder, and I also feed them a 5-pound coffee can full of whole corn every day, and that helps make their eggs more yellow. But when they're free ranging like now, I've noticed the eggs have turned that real dark, yellowish, orangish looking color. And they tell me the darker that yolk is, the more nutrients that yolk has, and a lot of good things for your body. I'm not a scientist in all that, but I know one thing, it sure tastes better. The more darker that yellow is, the better the egg is. And like I say, I like mine over easy, so I like that yellow still runny. But even if I have them scrambled or cooked well, I think they taste better if they're well done even than they do when they're real pale, like the store-bought eggs. Mine never get as pale as a store-bought egg. But anyway, here on the homestead, getting some feed ready. I'm about to take it out here and put it in the troughs and let the cows that are expecting babies, let them in here and let them eat a little bit. And what I do is put out corn, and then I put out buckets of 4 or 5-way mix feed. The same way, I got a buggy over here with it in there, and it's got some corn in it also, and it's got wheat midds, distiller's grains, soybean pellets, some different things like that for the cows. So I mix it in with the corn, and they really like that. If you may say, why am I feeding this corn? And I can get this corn cheaper than I can get the feed mix, and it's real close right here, the corn. The guy that sells it's got big old huge grain bins, and he's got them full of corn, and he runs it through a machine that I don't know what you call the machine, but it grinds up the corn, kind of chops it up, and it's not super fine, but you still got all the goodies here. But the cows, they get all the good stuff of the corn in there. Sometimes they'll even be part of a cob or part of a stalk. Right there's a piece of a stalk. Cows will eat that. It don't hurt them at all. So, and what the cows don't eat, if some spills off the troughs, then my chickens eat. So we're kind of like a recycling center around here. I wanted to say just a quick little bit. If you've been following the cattle markets any lately, there might be a chance that the cattle prices are going to go up. They have spiked, which is a seasonal spike right now, because a lot of these feeder stocker guys are wanting young calves that are weaned to put out on summer grasses. Right? There's a lot of people around here that they don't have their own cow-calf operation, so what they do in the spring is they'll buy calves and put out on their grass, and they'll let them eat all summer, and they don't have any feed in them, and then they sell them in the fall, and if they gain 100 pounds, then they get that profit of the 100-pound gain. But the prices appear to be kind of going to go up, and the hogs, if you've noticed here lately, the hogs have been going on the futures market, has been really jumping up there, and they believe China might be going to buy some of our hogs. They just had a porcine diarrhea virus, whatever they call it, detected here in the United States. So that's not the same disease they're having in China, but it is a disease that's very devastating to the hog population here. If that was to spread, could really affect hog prices. So if you're wanting to get you a hog to fatten out and butcher, or stock you up on some pork, this would probably be a good time to do it, because it looks like the pork will probably go up in prices. And beef, I believe, is right behind them. As the demand gets heavy on pork, people will probably buy more beef. There also is speculation that China might buy more beef from us if they get this trade deal going through. Plus, up in Nebraska, if you've not followed that, up in that area, those states, even around Nebraska there, have had such devastating impacts on their cattle herds, their farming herds, so that could trickle down and even cause some shock waves here on cattle prices. It'd be good if our cattle went up. I would love that, but I hate it at someone else's expense. So we've been praying for those folks and wish them well. If you're watching from another state that's been impacted by these natural disasters, why, hey, we feel for you today, and I can only imagine what you're going through, but we're praying for you, and I know there's a great big God that cares about you, and He's more than able to bring you through if you'll just hang on to the Lord. Anyway, I appreciate you watching this morning, and we'll have a few other things here to show today, and I appreciate our viewers. And if you haven't already, if you'd give us a thumbs up, or if you're not subscribed to our channel, if you'd subscribe, would really help us out on our channel. We're growing, and each week there's a few more signing up, and we even appreciate the comments. If you're a rancher, farmer, homesteader, whatever, and you got something going on, put a little comment there. We certainly appreciate it. And anyway, I'm gonna get this feed out to the cows. I keep hearing them bawl a little bit, and they're hungry and they get kind of impatient. Well, I'm out here on the homestead today, and moving the cows, and see some are coming up here now. Some more is coming. You may not be able to hear me over all the mooing, but what I try to do in the evenings, I've been turning them out here on this wheat. You can see how green and lush that is out there. And they get a lot of good eating out here on this pasture. And in the evenings, I put them a little bit of grain out to get them to come up here. Today, they don't seem to be real interested. I think it's because some are, but the rest of them aren't coming up. I think it's they'd rather have that good green grass. But anyway, I'm trying to get them up here so I can take them off the wheat overnight, and they don't just keep it ate down, and they can eat grain up here, and there's a little grass and stuff coming up here, a few little things here and there for them to eat on. But anyway, I'm trying to get them up here where I can lock them up for the night. Come on! Come on! Usually they'll come a-running on a day like today, but come on, babies! Come on! Come on! Come on! Anyway, the weather's getting beautiful out here in Oklahoma. I feel for those in other states that are still going through some bad times, but we certainly have had some beautiful weather, and this sunshine, and been getting some rain on and off. There's really green stuff up, and the most green we have is the weed out here in the pasture, but I'm trying to get it to come on. I fertilized it the other day, and then we've had some rain on it, and it's really made it look good. It's starting to really come on, and cows, they like that green grass. And anyway, so I see some way back there coming. They'll eventually get up here, and I can turn them in this field and keep them overnight. And tomorrow I'll probably turn them in another field over here to the backside, so they don't just eat this all down. If I kind of keep it growing some, Hopefully they'll have enough. I won't have to feed them any more hay. I've been haying the ones up at the house, but these back over here on this side I don't have to hay. But I sure thank the Lord for the pretty weather. Sure glad it's getting to be nice here. Come on! Come on! Come on! Come on! Come on! Oh, I like it. The sun's starting to go down, and it's been a beautiful, beautiful day today. I think got up to about 72. Tomorrow's not going to be as pretty day. We've got a bunch of wind coming, and I don't like the old wind, but it's still supposed to be in the 70s, so I'll take the temperature. It's just the wind is a little aggravating. Today's been a really calm, nice, beautiful day. Come on! Come on! I try to get them all up here together before I let them in, because if not, the first ones, they'll get all the grain and the others won't get any. But I think with all this nice wheat, they're getting to where they don't care so much, and they're not as hungry for that grain like they were. But usually in the summertime, I can bring a bucket of grain out here and lead them about anywhere I want them to go. They're not interested today, and still just a few of them up here, but maybe the others will come on. I still see some more coming way on up yonder on the back side there, so maybe they'll get on up here. The reason I don't just let them roam everywhere, a lot of the pasture back in here is it's got little old scraggly stuff growing right now. And it seems to me like they wear their energy off if they just go and go and go chasing that little bit of grass. So here I can put them in where the grass is, or I call it grass, but where this weed is real concentrated, strong. And come on! Come on! Hope they hadn't got out on me somewhere. Come on! I usually hear this truck running. They'll just come running just to this little old pickup here, but come on, babies! Come on! Come on! Come on. Come on, babies. Come on. Guess I'm going to have to go drive it around and see if I can find it. Maybe some of them got out somewhere. Hey, I appreciate you watching today. If you're not already subscribed, if you subscribe to our channel, we'd appreciate it. Give us a thumbs up. God bless. Have a great day.